Welcome back, everyone. So-called conversion therapy, or efforts to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity, has been widely discredited by major American medical organizations. Half the states have banned it. But on Tuesday, the Supreme Court will hear a major challenge to those laws aimed at protecting LGBTQ Americans. Are the state laws silencing the speech of therapists who believe gays, lesbians, and transgender people can be changed? Our David Muir reports now from Colorado.
Like, she's just clearly our girly little girl.
For Colorado mom Erin Lee and her daughter Chloe, it was a defining moment many families face.
All 12-year-olds go through kind of that identity crisis where they're figuring themselves out, and, puberty just started.
And with puberty, a quiet struggle inside Chloe had given way to a startling surprise for her parents.
She had already made up this, I'm going to go by Toby now, and I'm ready to cut my hair, and I don't want to wear girls' clothes anymore.
So what did you do? What did you tell her?
We knew she was not a boy who was trapped in the wrong body. We thought we have to talk to a professional so we know what to say. Because
a mental health provider.
A mental health provider. Because if, in fact, she's just experiencing normal distress over her sex, we don't want to push her further into this trans identity.
They just told me the college fair is next Wednesday.
Chloe's exploration of identity is a rite of passage familiar to many teens. 1 in 4 American high schoolers say they are gay, lesbian, or bisexual. 3% identify as transgender, and another 2% report questioning their gender. Among those, many say they experience sadness and hopelessness. Some contemplate suicide. Chloe was one of them.
She just wanted someone who would talk to her about what she was going through, and this counselor was dodging the issue entirely, and that was making our daughter worse.
And you think that's a direct result of Colorado's law?
Oh, I know it is.
That law is a ban on so-called conversion therapy, or the effort by a licensed therapist to attempt to change a person's identity during treatment. 27 states restrict the practice, and Erin says it's had a dangerous chilling effect. Colorado's Attorney General Phil Weiser sees it differently.
Making you feel bad about who you are, pressuring you to be someone else, that's not legitimate therapy. The medical consensus is clear. That's why it's banned here in Colorado on a bipartisan basis.
The Colorado minor conversion therapy law says licensed therapists are not allowed to try to change behaviors or gender expressions, or try to eliminate or reduce same-sex attraction. But therapists are allowed to provide acceptance, support, and understanding as a child develops.
Does it stop a therapist from helping a child better align with their biological sex, if that's what they want?
This law allows children to be their best authentic selves, whatever it is. A therapist cannot pressure and harm a young person by saying who you say you are is not okay.
Either way.
Either way.
But critics say it's effectively a gag order, claiming the state is censoring therapists, allowing them only to encourage living openly as gay or lesbian or push them into gender transitions. Kaylee Childs has been a licensed therapist in Colorado Springs for nearly 10 years, providing what she calls faith-informed counseling.
Do you practice conversion therapy?
What I do is I welcome people into the office, and they come in here and we have a conversation.
Alleging the conversion therapy ban violates her right to free speech, Childs sued Colorado in federal court.
So what is it that you believe you want to say but can't say under this law?
If someone comes into the office and they say, I am a biological male, and I have been living and presenting as a female for a while now. Those are the clients who I cannot have a full conversation with.
She says she's had to turn away clients fearing a possible $5,000 fine. But the state insists it's not clear Childs poses any conflict with the law.
The statute is broad, overarching language, and it prevents me from doing what I want to do with clients. Minors who are coming to me voluntarily of their own free will, who have goals that the state has forbidden, they can't come and have the same conversation with me that they could before this law.
Hanging over the case is decades of medical consensus that conversion therapy is ineffective and even harmful.
What does the science say about the effectiveness of conversion therapy?
that there is none.
Dr. Clinton Anderson, a trained psychologist, spent more than 30 years studying mental health care for LGBTQ people at the American Psychological Association.
What happens is that people do develop, their sexuality emerges, their gender emerges. Those changes happen naturally. If you are trying to make them change and they're not going to be successful, then the distress they bring into the therapy gets compounded by their concern about being a failure.
An estimated 700,000 LGBT adults in the U.S. have received conversion therapy. Half were subjected to the practice as adolescents.
The trauma of conversion therapy can last a lifetime.
Matthew Shurka calls himself a survivor of 4 conversion therapists over 5 years. It began when he was 16 after sharing feelings of sexual attraction to other boys with his parents. His father sought out licensed therapists. Some said they could cure him.
They said that I was an easy case, that I should start to see my heterosexuality come back within 6 weeks. My father made this situation life or death. He really felt that he was saving my life.
Shurka was told a key part of treatment would be no contact with female family members, his 2 sisters and his mother.
That lasted 3 years. I had no relationship to them.
How much of that decision on his part and your part rest upon the fact that this was a educated, licensed clinical practitioner?
All of it.
And in one instance was even coached as a teenager to use Viagra to help intimacy with women.
Maybe I was able to perform on that specific evening, but the harm that I was doing to my mental self was at times felt irreversible. And that is when I knew that suicide may be an option for me, because I knew I wasn't changing.
In 2019, he testified in Colorado about his experience, urging lawmakers to adopt a conversion therapy ban.
Any therapist can share their opinion on anything. That is their freedom of speech. But when it comes to a course of treatment, that's professional speech. I was given a treatment to cure my homosexuality that had no basis in any scientific finding.
Sound science or not, Aaron believes the law still runs afoul of the First Amendment.
The law, as I very clearly, it's very clearly written. And as I interpret it, it prevents counselors from being able to help kids through their gender confusion. They can only help them into it.
My parents never really tried to address it.
And Chloe, now 16 and more comfortable as a cisgender girl, is speaking out about her experience.
I felt a lot of shame and despair that seemed absolutely inexplicable. But now I understand. It's because they were right. I'm not a boy. And I was just really, really confused.
A debate over how best to help developing teens, pitting free speech for counselors against a state's push for medical regulation.
We know that young kids right now are hurting. One of the ways we protect young people is we let them have autonomy about who they are.